Hello and welcome back to my channel, a channel where we discuss all things important. So today we're going to be watching a video called Islamic Solutions for Fear of the Future and Anxiety. So I've not watched this video before, so we'll be watching it together. And this video is by Noble Lessons.
Two of the hardest burdens that human beings live with are fear and sadness. Fear and grief. Those are the two heaviest burdens that human beings live with in this life. As a matter of fact, when Allah sent Adam alayhi salam to the earth, He told him that when He gives His guidance, فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Human beings are created and were placed in a situation where they're going to struggle. They're going to have to deal with very difficult circumstances, very difficult situations, and even people. They're going to have to deal with that. It's part of life. And that has nothing to do with, if you had more iman, you wouldn't have these problems. It doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, the higher your iman, people assume the higher your iman, the problems are going to go away. No, the higher your iman, something else. And that something else is what I hope to explain to you today. To put it as an image, Allah created us and He put us inside of a storm. Okay, like imagine a storm in the ocean. You're in a storm. And the waves are turbulent and you've got your little boat, etc. And you're constantly worried about sinking. And you're worried about those who are sinking next to you. But Allah Azza wa Jal, what does the faith do? It gives you the strength and it gives you the ability to go through the storm, to navigate the storm. It doesn't mean you don't get wet. It doesn't mean sometimes the boat almost doesn't tip over. To go through it and survive the storm. You see, that's the purpose of our faith. Is not to get rid of the problem, but to actually strengthen us so we can go through the problem. Two of the hardest burdens that human beings live with are fear and sadness. Fear and grief. Those are the two heaviest burdens that human beings live with in this life. As a matter of fact, when Allah sent Adam alayhi salam to the earth, He told him that when He gives His guidance, فَمَنْ تَبِعَ هُدَايَ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا هُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. Whoever follows my guidance, they're going to be able to combat fear and sadness, essentially. In other words, Allah knew that in the story of humanity from Adam alayhi salam to the last human being that's going to walk on this earth, every one of them is going to have to struggle with fear and they're going to have to struggle with sadness. Now what are these two things? Fear is about what's going to happen in the future. Fear is about, am I going to lose my job? Is what's going to happen to mom? What's going to happen to my family? What are they going to say? What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen with my exam? What's going to happen with my immigration? What's going to happen with this and what's going to happen with that? These fears about what's going to happen in the next few hours or in the next few days or in the year from now or in the future, these fears are small and big and they're all the time. They're a part of us. You wake up afraid. You're afraid you're going to be late to work. You're afraid that you forgot about some task that you had to do or the time's running out. Small fears, big fears. But fear is a constant part of life. It's always there. And what you're afraid of, let's say a student is afraid of failing an exam. Up until the moments of the exam, there's fear, the heart is pounding. And they take the exam. And then unfortunately they get the result that they failed. And when they fail, there's no more fear, there's now sadness. I mean, there's fear of what your dad's going to do to you, but there's sadness mostly. Right? Now there's sadness about what happened already. So fear is about the future and sadness is about the past. What already took place in the past. And just because it's in the past, you don't get to tell someone, well, it's in the past, get over it. It's done now. You should move on with your life. No, you and I are not in any position to tell anyone that they no longer have the right to feel sad anymore. Our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam continued to feel the sadness of the absence of Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha for years.
So yeah, fear is something that every human being is going to experience, including sadness as well. But you just have to find a way to manage both of them. And one of the ways you can do that is by learning more about Islam and what Islam teaches about fear and about being sad and so on.
For years. Feeling sad is not a sign that you don't have enough faith. He has the greatest faith of all, and yet he carries sadness. Yaqub alayhi salam lost his son Yusuf alayhi salam. And he carries a great amount of sadness. So much so that he cries so much, ibiyaddat aynahu. His eyes turn white. His eyes turn white out of sadness. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have faith in Allah. He doesn't actually have that. As a matter of fact, he would only cry of his fear and cry of his grief and his sadness to Allah. إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِّي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Is that Allah will give you and me a strength to our hearts that we'll be able to overcome the most powerful fear and the most powerful sadness, the deepest kind of sadness. He'll make us strong enough, not that those things will go away, but you'll be strong enough to go through it. You won't collapse. Your heart won't fall apart.
So yeah, really nice video. So watching this video, we've obviously learned that Islam has an answer to fear and to sadness. So fear is basically the fear of the future, and sadness is to do with the past. I mean, there's not much you can do. These are trials that Allah will make you go through, and you just have to make sure you pass and just stay strong to your deen. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.